My name is Harsh Anandani. Today I'll be taking the topic three-dimensional geometry. Okay, I hope you would have heard about this topic. In case you have not, then let's see how we can proceed today. Okay, so in three-dimensional geometry, basically we need to deal with the coordinate axis, three coordinate axes. One is x-axis, the another is y-axis, and the third is z-axis. These three coordinate axes are mutually perpendicular to each other, which means x-axis is perpendicular to y-axis, y-axis is perpendicular to z-axis, and z-axis is perpendicular to x-axis. Okay. If I want to express any point P in three-dimensional space, I need to write its three coordinates, which means x coordinate, y coordinate, and z coordinate. So basically, x coordinate represents the distance of a point from the yz plane. So basically yz plane is the plane which is formed by the y-axis and z-axis. So here we have these two axes, y-axis and z-axis. So this plane will become the yz plane. So the distance of point P from the yz plane, okay, this plane is represented by the x coordinate. Similarly, if I want to know the significance of y coordinate represents the distance of the point from the zx plane. Zx plane is the plane which is formed by the z-axis and x-axis. Okay, so we have this x-axis and this is the z-axis. So this plane formed by the z and x-axis is the zx plane. So the distance of the point P from the z-axis is represented by the y coordinate, and in the end we have the z coordinate. Z coordinate represents the distance of the point from the xy plane. So this is the xy plane, and this point is actually in three-dimensional space. It is lying somewhere here. It is lying somewhere here. So its distance from the xy plane, this perpendicular distance, is represented by the letter z. Okay. In the diagram, although it is looking like it is actually in the xy plane, but because it's a two-dimension, I am unable to show it in three-dimension. Okay. Actually, this point is lying somewhere here, and the distance of this point from this plane, which is the board of the plane, that distance is represented by the letter z. Okay, so this is the significance of the x, y and z coordinate for any particular point. Now proceeding ahead, if we want to find, suppose, the distance between 2 points in three-dimensional space, I can write the 2 points. Suppose one point is point P, whose coordinates are x1, y1 and z1. Another point is point Q, whose coordinates are x2, y2, z2. Okay. Now I am interested in finding the distance between these 2 points. So suppose this distance is d. So we can apply the distance formula for finding the distance between these 2 points. The distance formula we have already studied in coordinate geometry in 2 dimensions. Same formula we just need to write using 3 dimensions now. So we can apply the distance formula like this. First of all, we take the difference of their x coordinates. So x2 minus x1, take the square of that. Then we take the difference of their y coordinates, y2 minus y1, and take the square of that. And then we take the difference of their z coordinates, z2 minus z1, and take the square of that. Add all these three terms, add all these three entities, and then take the complete square root. So this gives us the distance between these 2 points. Okay. So I hope that you are understanding how I calculated the distance between these 2 points, right? So let's continue further. In the next topic, we'll discuss about direction cosines and direction ratios. Direction cosines. In bracket I can write DCs. They are also known by the short form DCs. So direction cosines, first we need to understand what do we mean by this term direction cosines. So in three-dimensional space we have 3 axes, x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. Suppose there is a line L. Now this line makes an angle alpha with the x-axis, this angle is alpha, makes an angle beta with the y-axis, and makes an angle gamma with the z-axis. Okay. Then the cosines of these 3 angles are given a special name, which means cos of alpha, cos of beta and cos of gamma. cos alpha is represented by the letter L, cos of beta is represented by the letter M, and cos of gamma is represented by the letter N. These three entities L, M and N are called the direction cosines of the given line. Okay, for a given line they are a unique set of numbers. Okay, now there is a special result for direction cosines. That result is that if we take the sum of the squares of direction cosines, which means L square plus M square plus N square, so that is always equal to 1. If we take the sum of the squares of the direction cosines, so L square plus M square plus N square, so that is always equal to 1. Right? So how do I prove that? As a proof, I can say suppose a point P x comma y comma z is lying on that line. This point P x comma y comma z is lying on that line. Okay. Now the distance of P from origin OP we can say is r, and I can write r in terms of x, y and z using this formula, root of x square plus y square plus z square. So cos alpha basically, if you form a right angle triangle, cos alpha will become x by r because base upon hypotenuse. Cos beta will become y by r, and cos gamma will become z by r. So if we take the sum of these three terms, which means L square plus M square plus N square, so in the denominator we will have r square, and in the numerator we will have x square plus y square plus z square. Right? X square plus y square plus z square we already know is equal to r square because we know this relation holds true. So if we take square on both the sides, x square plus y square plus z square can be replaced by r square. So r square by r square gets cancelled and we get the value 1. So always remember, for a given line, if we have the direction cosines L, M and N, sum of squares of the direction cosines, which means L square plus M square plus N square is equal to 1. Okay, this is an important result. So I hope you are understanding. In case not, please let me know so that we can discuss it again if there is a need. Okay. Otherwise, we continue further. The next topic, which is somewhat related to direction cosines, is called as direction ratios. Direction ratios, in short form DRs. Direction ratios, in short form DRs. Direction ratios, so first of all we need to understand what do we mean by direction ratios. So for any line which is represented in three-dimensional space, if I say the direction ratios are A, B and C, so it means that the ratio of the direction ratios with the direction cosines is always constant. So if the direction cosines for this line is suppose L, M and N, then we can say A by L is equal to B by M is equal to C by N is equal to lambda. A by L is equal to B by M is equal to C by N is equal to lambda. Now using this relation I can express L as A by lambda, M as B by lambda and N as C by lambda. We already know that L square plus M square plus N square is equal to 1, which I just proved in the previous part. We know that L square plus M square plus N square is equal to 1. So I can replace L by A by lambda, so this will become A square plus B square plus C square by lambda square equal to 1. On cross multiplying we get the value of lambda as plus minus square root of A square plus B square plus C square. Okay, so I get the value of lambda as plus minus square root of A square plus B square plus C square. If we substitute this value of lambda in these three relations, I can express L as A by root of A square plus B square plus C square plus minus. Similarly, I can express M as plus minus B upon under root of A square plus B square plus C square, and N I can express as plus minus C upon root of A square plus B square plus C square. So this is how we can calculate direction cosines L, M and N from the direction ratios. If we know the value of direction ratios, we can calculate or we can find the value of direction cosines using these relations. Okay. So let's continue further. We come to the topic of section formula. Section formula is a formula which is helpful in finding the coordinates of a point which is dividing 2 points in a particular ratio. Okay, so first of all I'll just write the heading section formula. So if suppose we have 2 points P and Q, the coordinates of P is x1, y1, z1. The coordinates of Q is x2, y2, z2. We have a point R, suppose this is dividing PQ in the ratio of m:n. We have a point R which is lying between P and Q and dividing these 2 points in the ratio m:n. Okay. So section formula basically helps us in finding the coordinates of the point R. Okay. So how do we do that? So it's very simple. Basically we need to multiply m by the coordinates of P and multiply n by the coordinates of Q. Add them and divide it by the sum of m plus n. So let's say the coordinates of R are h, k, u. Now if I want to write the x coordinate, so what I will do? I will multiply m by the x coordinate of P. So m into x1, n will be multiplied by x2 and the sum will be divided by m plus n. Similarly, if I want to find the y coordinate of R, say k, so m multiplied by y1, then n will be multiplied by y2 and the sum will be divided by m plus n. And now if I want to find the z coordinate of R, which is u, so same thing I'll do, I'll multiply m with the z coordinate here. So m into z1 plus n into z2 divided by m plus n. Okay. So this is a very simple formula. Just we multiply this value by the coordinates of the opposite points. So m will be multiplied with p, n will be multiplied with q, and then divided by the sum of m plus n. Okay. So I hope you understood what I taught in this topic, in this session: section formula and direction cosine, direction ratios, and distance formula.